Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hey, what's up? My name is Caitlin, and this is the channel where I talk all things toys and dolls. Today for Monster High Week, we are ranking all of the Mansters of Monster High. So this is like main characters. So either the story of the movie is kind of centered around them, they were the antagonist, or they're like a doll, or just a main character that happened in the webisode several times, stuff like that. I don't have any of the new G3 characters in here just because I don't feel like I know enough about them yet. I also didn't include any adult characters just because I didn't want to. So I am ranking everyone else. So let's get into it. Coming in last place, number 25, we have Finn. Literally all we know about Finn is that he broke Lorna's heart over video chat. So obviously he sucks. He does look kind of cool, but yeah, we don't like Finn. In 24th place, we have Rocco. He's just kind of an okay character. Like, he's the mean guy, he's Toralai's boyfriend, but at the end he does have a little bit of a change of heart, but he's still just like not a great antagonist and not a great character. He just kind of doesn't have much of a personality, so meh. Speaking of not much of a personality, at number 23 is Dawn of the Dead. He's just there. Like, he's not a bad character, he's not a good character, he's barely a character. He's basically just the alternative possible love interest to Ghoulia, who fights with Slomo. That's it. Next up is Bram. He, again, is just an okay character. Like, there's nothing bad per se about him, but he's not like a standout, really like the character. He is an antagonist, he's Gory's boyfriend, and he just likes to cause trouble with the werewolves and all of that stuff, so he's alright. In 21st place, we have Manny Tour. I might get some hate from this one, but I don't really care for Manny. Like, he's kind of a bully. He's always seen picking on, like, the nerdy kids, and there's several times when Draculaura, like, tells him to knock it off in webisodes, and he's not very good to Iris. Like, they have no communication, so I don't really like them together. And I also hate his voice, which is not, like, a character flaw, but I just don't like it. He's annoying, and I don't really care for Manny. Honestly, he would have been lower on this list, but I felt like the other characters that came before him were too non-existent to be higher than him. In 20th place, I have Gill. Gill's Gill. I don't really like him, but I don't hate him. I like him better than Manny, obviously, but his whole I want to be with you, but I can't be with you because my parents said so thing with Laguna just got really old. I also don't care for his voice, ironically, and I don't know. He just was a kind of boring character. The only, like, rememberable trait that he had was the fact that he constantly was back and forth with Laguna, so don't love him for that. I will say, however, I did absolutely love Scarier Reef when they gave him the manta ray, stingray, something, tail. I think that looked awesome. But other than that, meh. In 19th place, we have Jackson. I like Jackson, but I don't love Jackson. I think he's really sweet and, like, adorkable, but he's also really whiny, and the whininess kind of, like, definitely brings him down for me. He's still cute and sweet, and I like him a lot. I really loved him with Claire. That's a different video. We need to stop talking about couples, but Jackson is the epitome of, like, take him or leave him character for me. 18th goes to Romulus. I really liked his, like, big brother kind of role for Claude. I liked him and Claude together. Their dynamic was really great, and I think he's, like, a nice character. I think if he would have been around more, then he could have developed even further. I feel like I say that about a lot of Monster High characters, unfortunately, but yeah, for the one movie he was in, I did enjoy his character a lot. Next up, I have Heath Burns for 17th place. Heath is a character that I started out hating and started to kind of like. I think that's true for a lot of people with Heath. Like, he starts off being this, like, jerk who's horrible to Draculaura and just thinks he's the god's gift to women, and I really didn't like him at first, but he does kind of eventually grow on you in, like, a rash sort of way, in the sense that he's still kind of a jerk and still, like, always wants every girl ever, but I love his dynamic with Abby. I think she's the only girl that could like actually deal with Heath. And I just think he's a fun character. Like, he's the character that you're meant to just be like, oh my god. 16th place goes to Slomo. This is another kind of Dawn of the Dead situation where, like, I don't really know how to feel about him because he doesn't have much of a personality. Unfortunately, zombies don't speak English, so we never really know what he's thinking. But I do really think he does care about Gulia. I really, really like the Slomo doll, and I just think he's a fun character. Like, he's fine. He's fine. In 15th place, I have Kipling. I adore Kipling. I think he was such a sweet character. Obviously, like, he starts out being not the best because he's, like, a henchman or whatever for the guy in Skull Shores whose name I'm forgetting right now. But he's just so cute and so sweet, and, like, his story makes you, like, sad, and I really like him. I think he was a fun character, and, again, I would have loved to see more of him. In 14th, I have Holt. He is really, really fun. He's definitely a fun character. He's also super loud, so he can definitely be obnoxious, but he's just fun. Like, I don't know how else to describe Holt other than a fun guy. Like, he's the DJ, he's the guy that gets you amped up, but he's also really nice and, like, cares about people, except maybe Jackson. But I like Holt, goodness. Coming up for 13th place, I have Andy Beast. I really enjoyed Andy's character. I think he's lower for me just because, again, common issue with Monster High is we didn't like get to explore his character much more at all other than the one movie. But I just really enjoyed him. I think he was a sweetheart. I loved the way he looked. I think he would have made a phenomenal doll. And I really, really like Andy. I don't know why. I just think he's so cute and lovable and like an adorable giant teddy bear. 12th place is Finnegan Wake for me. I adore Finnegan. I liked that Monster High was starting to be inclusive with this guy. They were always inclusive, just not, I don't know. Like, they had a lot of room to improve, but I'm not going to say they weren't inclusive. They just could have been more inclusive. I digress. This is not what this is about. But I love the fact that they gave us a character in a wheelchair and didn't use the cop-out of Boy's a Mermaid because he was still disabled and when he was underwater as well. And artistically, he's one of my favorite Mansters. I think he looked amazing. I loved his artwork. His character was really fun. He was just a cool guy. And I really liked his doll as well, which I still don't own and need to get. In 11th place, I have Seth Ptolemy. I really, really liked Seth. I think artistically he was done really well. I think his music was really cool. I loved the dynamic between him and Caddy and the like whole secret identity rapper situation. I really just enjoyed his story. Would have loved a doll. Would have loved to got to see more of him. Common theme. Starting out my top 10 is Deuce. I really like Deuce. The longer Deuce became a character, the more I liked him. But at times he was too much of a bro for me to put him any higher. Like, there were definitely moments where I was just like, do you have a personality other than Cleo's boyfriend? Because sometimes he did not. But when he did, he was really funny. He was the cool guy. He was super there for his friends. And I really, really enjoy Deuce. 9th place goes to Wraith. You guys know my love for Wraith if you've been around my channel at all recently or at all. He's just one of my favorite characters. I put him 9th because he was such a new character at the time. He is a G2 character that there wasn't a lot of content with him, so I didn't feel like it was justifiable to put him any higher than this. But realistically, he's probably higher than this. But I think he's such a fun character. He's super sweet. He's super funny. I love how, like, clumsy, klutzy, dorky he is. And his crush on Claudine is one of my favorite things to happen in Monster High. I just really like Wraith. My 8th place is Nathan Rott. I know a lot of people didn't really care for Nathan, but I adored him. Again, I love the clumsiness. Like, I just think it's so cute, and I think Nathan is adorable. I think he really cared about Frankie and about his friends and the other hybrids, and he was just, like, a kind soul. And I like the whole zombie unicorn thing. I know a lot of people didn't, but I really did. I liked him. His shoes were atrocious, but the doll itself was actually pretty cool, I thought. And yeah, Nathan's cool. He's a sweetheart. 7th place, controversial as it may be, is Valentine. The fact that a bad guy is this high on my list is kind of crazy, but I loved Kyrian Valentine. He was my favorite antagonist of Monster High. Ooh, Wisp is a close second, though. I do really like Wisp, but anyway, Kyrian Valentine, great. I really liked his character. I loved his story. I liked the whole keeping the hearts thing and how fake in love he was with Draculaura. I just think it was overall a really good story, and I really enjoyed him as a bad guy. 6th place has to go to the most romantic manster, Mr. Garott. I think he's just such a sweetheart. I love how in love with Rochelle he was. He's very romantic, very, like, I don't even know the word. Like, he's the kind of manster that you would write, like, novels about. That kind of vibe is what he gives, but I just think he was totally a sweetheart. I do, however, wish that he would have come back to Monster High for Rochelle. That docked a little bit of points for me, but, you know, you gotta do you, so that's fine. But I really like Garrett. And starting out my top 5, I have Hoodooed. I adore Hoodooed so much. Again, I just love the dorky characters. Like, I think they're so much fun, and he is the epitome of dorky. He's constantly falling, constantly, like, not really understanding what's happening. My favorite Hoodooed moment ever is, like, the epitome of the entire Frights Camera Action movie. Like, his character in there is just so much fun. And the, like, heartbreak you feel for him when Frankie doesn't want him anymore is just so real, because you're just like, but he's so cute. I just love Hoodooed. Like, he's one of my favorite characters, obviously. Johnny Spirit takes 4th place for me. I really like Johnny. I feel like every one of these I'm starting with this person. I really like them. Like, obviously. But I love Johnny and Operetta together. I loved them in Haunted. I love the webisode of them where they're, like, battling it out with the instruments. I just think he's a really fun, like, fake bad boy type, and I really enjoy his character. I definitely wish there would have been more Johnny, and definitely wish I would have gotten a doll of Johnny, like, please. But he overall was just a super awesome character. 3rd place is Invisibility. I love Invisibility. I think he's super shy and sweet. I love him and Scara together. I just think he was, like, the sweetest guy ever. He was super shy, which was, like, adorable in his own little way, and I love how he was, like, so scared that Scara wasn't into him, even though he was, like, in love with her. And his doll was awesome. I don't know. I just really like him. I don't really know why. 2nd place has to go to the one and only Claude Wolf. I love Claude. He is another just super sweet manster. Him and Draculaura are, like, the cutest thing ever. He's so sweet to her. Arguably maybe a little too attached, but I'm a romantic at heart, so I think it's adorable. And those, like, puppy dog eyes that he does are adorable. He's, like, the epitome of, like, the all-around jock, but, like, a good jock. Like, he's super sporty, super athletic, super friendly, super nice, super popular. He's prom king. Like, Claude is prom king. But I adore him, and I think he was one of the best boy dolls they made, too. And to surprise, I'm sure, absolutely no one at this point, my 1st place goes to Porter. Porter is my favorite manster. I adore him so much. He is funny and artistic and, like, a bad boy, but has, like, that soft spot for Spectra that I adore. He does the right thing in the end, which he, of course, was always going to do the right thing, but only for Spectra kind of a situation. And I just think he's super fun. His doll is my favorite Monster High boy doll, and he's just overall done so well. I love his character, I love his movie, I love his doll. I do not have a bad thing to say about Porter. Him and Spectra are my favorite couple. Like, everyone who's seen my video saw this coming. I'm sorry if I'm not surprising in the least, but he's the best. So let me know down below what you guys think. What is your ranking for the Mansters, your top 10, 5, 3, whatever you want to do. Don't forget to like this video before you go, and subscribe so you don't miss out on any more of my future videos. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.